The first thing that comes to mind when the words heavily guarded are thrown around is prisoners. However, it seems that they are not alone when it comes to heightened security. There are several very important people across the globe that are guarded even more so than criminals. Strange, but true. From Her Royal Highness to the American President, here are 15 most heavily guarded people in the world. Number 15. Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II was born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on the 21st of April, 1926. She was the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York, who later became King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth began undertaking public duties during the Second World War, married Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, in 1947, and became head of the Commonwealth just 5 years later in February 1952. At the time, she was also a mother to 2 young children, Charles and Anne, and she would go on to have 2 further sons, Andrew and Edward, within the first decade of her reign. One of the most protected people in the world, Queen Elizabeth II has ruled for longer than any other monarch in British history, celebrating 68 years on the throne in 2020. Her Majesty carries out a full program of engagements, and as such, she requires a significant protection detail. This includes an elite Scotland Yard squad who provide the Queen, her family, and London's diplomatic community with 24-hour security. The Royalty and Diplomatic Protection Group was formed in 1983. It is believed to include up to 185 SAS-trained officers, including uniformed officers and personal bodyguards. The service has been called several times in the last 20 years when individuals managed to enter Buckingham Palace, one by paragliding, another by scaling up a wall via a drain pipe. Neither incident presented any real threat. However, a £1.6 million police station was constructed next to the palace in 1982, just in case. Before we go on, we have a cool challenge for y'all. It'll take about 5 seconds to complete. Let's make a deal. Just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 10 years of amazing luck and fortune. Try it, it actually works. Number 14. President Donald Trump. Donald John Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States in January 2017. He is considered one of the most important figures in the world and commands a top-notch security team to match. But although he is the most powerful person in the world, his security agents choose where he stays, where he goes, even what he eats. Secret Service agents never leave the president's side. He travels in a special limousine and flies in the Air Force One, the most sophisticated civilian aircraft in the world. If President Trump is visiting, dog squads are sent into action to check for bombs prior to his arrival. In the event of an emergency, security personnel have his blood type at the ready in case he needs a transfusion. These guys are clearly prepared for any eventuality. When traveling outside America, security can have as many as 6 Boeing C-17 planes in their arsenal. These planes carry up to 37 cars, including the president's own, and several helicopters in case he needs to travel somewhere within the country. Protecting the president isn't easy or cheap, with estimates from former President Barack Obama's protective detail at $97 million. And that was just for travel. However, based on the first 4 weeks of Trump's presidency, which included 3 trips to his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, costing about $10 million US, Trump will easily skip past that figure. Number 13. Mark Zuckerberg. American internet entrepreneur and philanthropist Mark Zuckerberg is best known for co-founding Facebook Incorporated in 2004. He and his college roommates launched the social networking service from his dormitory room while attending Harvard University. The site reached 1 billion users by 2012, and he took the company public the same year. Facebook quickly became a global sensation, and Zuckerberg is now estimated to be worth nearly $54 million. Unfortunately, with fame comes the need for extra security, and his isn't cheap. In fact, it cost Facebook $13 million in 2017 and $22 million in 2018 to protect its CEO. In 2017, Zuckerberg became the world's youngest self-made billionaire. And today, like many wealthy CEOs, he receives an official salary of $1 a year. He also rarely receives bonuses or stock awards. However, Zuckerberg's total compensation jumped from $9.1 million in 2017 to $22.6 million in 2018, simply to cover the increase in his security costs. According to the company, the increase is partially the result of specific threats against him and Facebook's high visibility. Private aircraft travel forms part of the security program, along with bodyguards, and a 16-man security detail patrols his Palo Alto mansion 24/7. Yeah, that's right, 16. A virtual army. They're also bound to ruffle a few feathers in the neighborhood, considering they permanently and illegally hog nearby parking spots with their flashy silver SUVs, with one neighbor saying it can be cumbersome living next to Zuck. Number 12. Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin has been elected for 2 lengthy stints as the president of Russia, and he has also served as the prime minister twice. His latest reign as president began in 2012. However, his political career started way back in 1991 when he resigned from his role as a KGB foreign intelligence role where he was a lieutenant colonel. This experience has no doubt served him well in the political arena, and he is well known for being a hard taskmaster not to be crossed. Russia's Presidential Security Service, SBP, a federal government agency, is tasked with the unenviable role of protecting President Putin, the Russian Prime Minister, and both their respective families and residences. The security service has up to 3,000 non-uniformed personnel, and although not listed as one of the structural units of the Russian Federal Protection Service, they are also directly responsible to the president's bodyguard services. President Putin is also believed to have proposed the creation of the new National Guard, which was established by decree on April 5, 2016, and is led by his former bodyguard, Viktor Zolotov. The Guard draws on internal troops from the country's interior ministry and presents a major reorganization of the country's security services. It has 340,000 employees. The new body helps as a counter-terrorism force, ensuring national and public security, as well as guard governmental facilities and protect state borders. Number 11. Tom Cruise. An American actor and producer, this guy's a household name, so it's understandable that he has a security team to match. Said to be one of the most searched people on Google, Tom Cruise is popular and he knows it. Hence why he surrounds himself with the best bodyguards in the business. His ex-wife, Katie Holmes, and their daughter, Suri Cruise, are also well protected, with guards following them wherever they go. Cruise is used to being in the spotlight and dealing with the paparazzi, but his daughter is not. He spends $50,000 a week on her security detail that includes 4 highly trained guards. These guys know how to keep Suri safe from both cameras and possible threats. Sources say that Cruise has very little to do with his daughter these days. However, you can guarantee she will still be very well secured, with her father taking safety very seriously. He is also said to rule his home with military precision, zoning off certain areas where staff are not allowed and running extensive background checks on potential employees. And who could blame him? He is, after all, one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Number 10. Bill Gates. If it weren't for an incident with a cream pie, American business magnate Bill Gates may never have even contemplated the need for security. But an incident in February 1998 got the software developer, investor, and philanthropist thinking. Bill was attacked by a team of men armed with a handful of cream pies in Brussels, Belgium. No doubt it was simply a misguided attempt at fame, but he realized that a similar act of stupidity could have cost him his life. The change in him happened almost overnight. One day Gates was accessible, the next he had 2 burly bodyguards at his side. Security at his office was also beefed up, and shortly after, he was transferred to a new, extremely bomb-resistant building where all the windows were inches thick. The $150 million complex that is located outside of Seattle, Washington, is reportedly equipped with some of the most advanced security measures in the world. And so too is his earth-sheltered mansion that overlooks Lake Washington in Medina, Washington. Whenever he travels in public and takes trips to developing countries, he is escorted by a large security team. But with a net worth of approximately $102.1 billion, it's easy to see why Gates must be so careful. Number 9. Jay-Z and Beyonce. Security stepped up a notch when, in 2013, a fan dragged American singer Beyonce off the stage during a performance in Brazil. Her husband, Jay-Z, hired 5 new personal security guards following the incident, and all are former intelligence agents. These new guards joined the 5 she already had accompanying her on tour. The added security also included 2 new bomb-proof Latvia SUVs, similar to those frequented by Barack Obama, which reportedly cost the pair $4 million. As one of the world's best-selling music artists, having sold over 100 million records worldwide, Beyonce is believed to be worth $470 million, and hubby Jay-Z $1 billion. Born Sean Corey Carter, Jay-Z is an American rapper, songwriter, record producer, record executive, and businessman. He and Beyonce married in 2008 after 6 years of dating. They have 3 children, Blue Ivy, Rumi, and Sir. One of the world's top power couples, it's no wonder that money is no object when it comes to security. And with the salary of a bodyguard ranging anywhere from just $38,000 to over $120,000, it's anyone's guess how much their bill for protection amounts to each year. My guess is a lot. Number 8. Pope Francis. Pope Francis is the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City State. He was ordained a Catholic priest in 1969 and elected following the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI on the 28th of February 2013. He is well known for his humility, concern for the poor, and commitment to his people and his traditional views. This commitment has him facing increased scrutiny and open criticism. As such, he must be protected, and it's a difficult task, given his genuine love for his people. In fact, he is considered the least formal of all his immediate predecessors, preferring to mix and mingle with people as much as possible. To ensure his safety, Pope Francis has a team of guards, some clad in powerful uniforms, others in plain clothes. These guards protect him on trips around Rome, outside it, and also inside the Vatican. They come from a variety of security forces, and they are joined by the Vatican's very own 130-member police force, who are assigned to accompany the Pope. The police force is led by the Pope's personal bodyguard, who is often seen off the front fender of the Pope-mobile. Number 7. Floyd Mayweather. Former professional boxer and all-around American pretty boy, Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr. stunned audiences across the globe with his strength and skill in the ring. He competed from 1996 to 2015 with a couple of breaks in between before making a one-fight comeback in 2017. Mayweather is one of the most lucrative pay-per-view attractions of all time and topped the Forbes and Sports Illustrated lists of the 50 highest paid athletes several times. He also founded his own boxing promotional firm and is said to have generated $1.67 billion in revenue throughout his career. The world champion boxer won 15 major world titles and is often referred to as the best defensive boxer in history. So why, may you ask, would he need a security detail? Surely this guy's more than capable of handling himself. Well, apparently not. Although Mayweather is considered one of the most accurate punchers with the highest plus-minus ratio in recorded boxing history, he also commands a first-class protection detail. He has several bodyguards, each paid a generous $150,000 a year to protect the popular fighter. Number 6. Kim Kardashian. American media personality, model, businesswoman, socialite, and actress Kim Kardashian West married Kanye West in May 2014. Kanye himself is a well-known American rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, entrepreneur, and fashion designer, and the pair has 4 young children. Both celebrities in their own right and worth over $500 million, it's obvious why this formidable pairing require heightened security measures wherever they go. 4 security guards are often seen accompanying them, particularly when attending special events. The Wests also make safety a top priority at home, while traveling, and even on the internet, with a team of bodyguards and security guards keeping a close eye out for any sign of trouble. Kim and Kanye and their children live in a very secure neighborhood that requires visitors to pass through 2 security stations before they are granted entry. The family are mindful of what they post on social media, being careful not to overshare, and are believed to spend around $7 million per year on security. Money Kim says is well spent. She was robbed at gunpoint in Paris during Fashion Week in October 16, and since then, she has felt particularly vulnerable. You can't blame her for pulling out all the stops then, can you? Number 5. Kim Jong-un. The most protected dictator on the planet, Kim Jong-un is also the youngest. Not yet 40, he has absolute control over the lives of 25 million people. That's a scary thought. As heir apparent to his father, Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un took over as leader of North Korea in December 2011, following his death in 2010. In 2018, he was seen shaking hands with the Prime Minister of South Korea, a sign that had the rumor mill going into overdrive. This apparent softening of his stand toward the South was followed by him announcing that he was open to dialogue with Prime Minister Moon Jae-in. Kim Jong-un is believed to be responsible for his half-brother's death by a VX nerve agent, and also ordered the execution of his uncle for treachery. He is definitely one tough customer, with a list of enemies a mile long. As such, there have been several attempts on his life. Now said to be paranoid of assassination attempts, decapitation strikes, and potential competition for the top job, Jong-un doesn't leave anything to chance. Not only does he have a secret service-like agency tasked with his protection, he also has his own private 100,000-man army called the Guard Command. This group of physically fit North Korean commandos, dressed from head to foot in tailored business wear with obvious earpieces, definitely means business. Number 4. El Chapo. Now, this charming chap doesn't make the list of most heavily guarded people for nothing. Joaquin Guzman, or El Chapo, is a Mexican drug lord and former leader of the Sinaloa cartel. This international crime syndicate was established in the late 1980s and is believed to partake in all manner of illegal activities, including drug trafficking and money laundering. Raised in a poor farming family, Guzman endured years of abuse at the hands of his father, who then helped him into the drug trade as an adolescent. What a guy. By the late 1970s, he had started working with Hector Luis Palma Salazar, one of the nation's rising drug lords, mapping routes to move drugs and later supervising logistics for Miguel Gallardo, one of the nation's leading kingpins in the mid-1980s. Following Gallardo's imprisonment, Guzman oversaw all operations, bringing the cartel immense wealth and power. In fact, Forbes ranked him as one of the most powerful people in the world between 2009 and 2013. Isn't that something for the resume? He was captured in 1993 in Guatemala, but escaped in 2001. With a bounty of $8.8 million on his head, he escaped capture for 13 years and was arrested in Mexico in 2014. Guzman escaped through a tunnel under his jail cell prior to formal sentencing in 2015 and was recaptured by Mexican police following a shootout in 2016. In 2017, he was extradited to the US, where he now resides in the Supermax ADX Florence prison in Colorado. Number 3. 12-year Ethiopian girl. Now, I don't know about you, but I, for one, would never mess with a lion, let alone 3 of them. In 2005, 3 lions rescued a 12-year-old Ethiopian girl who had been kidnapped by men in the remote Southwest. She had been held by the men for a week and had been repeatedly beaten before the lions arrived on the scene and chased them away. The abductors had planned to force her into marriage, but the protective lions had other ideas. According to police, they stood guard over her for at least half a day until they knew she was safe, with wildlife experts believing she was saved because she was crying. Stuart Williams said the girl's whimpering was likely mistaken for the meowing sound of a lion cub. Although the girl was shocked and terrified, she will have a newfound respect for the king of the jungle who saw fit to keep her safe in her time of need. As for the men, police had caught 4 of them and were looking for 3 others. We can only hope that the lions catch up with them first. Number 2. Bella Hadid. An American model with Dutch and Palestinian heritage, Bella Hadid is almost royalty. Descended from the Prince of Nazareth and the Sheikh of Galilee through her father, she once had dreams of becoming an Olympic equestrian rider. These dreams were dashed, however, when she was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease in 2012. Symptoms include fatigue and muscle pain and require long-term medication to treat. In 2014, Hadid moved to New York City to study photography. Prior to the move, she had signed with a modeling agency, and her career on the catwalk soon took off. Now an A-lister, she has a host of bodyguards ensuring her safety at all times, one of which was Simon Newton. Also the ex-bodyguard of Michael Jackson, he served in the British Army before moving on to celebrity clientele. Although he never had to go head-to-head with a deranged fan, his clothing was customized to hide a firearm. He also knows how to spot a suspicious person from a mile away. And if you find yourself in a violent situation, he suggests not engaging. But if it all goes belly up, make sure the person you're protecting is in a safe place before dealing with the threat. And that sounds like sensible advice, doesn't it? Number 1. Jeff Bezos. With a net worth of $124 billion, the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is one highly protected human. Not only does he have an impressive security detail, his Seattle office is pretty much indestructible. In 2019, bulletproof panels costing $180,000 were installed in the office, and these are designed to withstand multiple shots from a military assault rifle and are completely blast resistant. These panels are expected to keep any danger on the outside from coming anywhere near Amazon's esteemed leader. They also demonstrate the lengths Bezos is willing to go to guard against real or perceived threats to his life. When he is outside the security of his office and not traveling for work, Amazon spends $1.5 million a year on his personal security services. And he has good reason to be vigilant. Bezos has more challenges than most executives, most notably from hostile tabloids and foreign powers with sophisticated intelligence services. As such, Amazon has an elite group of guards, or executive protection agents, on the payroll, charged with protecting senior executives. These agents have backgrounds in the Marines, U.S. Secret Service, and on SWAT teams. They execute security and logistical plans when senior executives travel or make public appearances, evacuate them during workplace crises, and maintain a database of communications and personnel who pose potential threats to the executives. It's no doubt a very tough gig, wouldn't you say? You might be quite surprised to find out just how much it costs to keep certain famous people safe. From the rich and famous celebrities to Her Majesty the Queen, each requires an individual security team with a different plan depending on their needs. Is it worth all the cost? I'm sure those being protected think so. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time!